Welcome everyone to Spilling the Tea with Estee and Marlene, where we serve the hottest tea. Join me and my baby stripper voice.
And me welcoming you all to eavesdrop onto our uncensored opinions. This platform is used to inform, laugh, and potentially inspire others to speak out about things we may all be thinking about but are too afraid to say out loud.
And don't forget, babes, if the shoe fits, wear it. All right, guys, welcome back to another Spilling the Tea recaps with yours truly, Estee. Um, Today we have a very special episode because we're adding another show to our recap list, and that is RHONY, Real Housewives of New York, one of my favorite um cities of the franchise, old and new. If you know, you know. And we're gonna be recapping episode, I think it's 3 of Salt Lake City. Yeah, I think it's 3. Yeah, 3. We're gonna go with 3. So let's start with Salt Lake City because that's the one you guys are used to me recapping. So I'm just gonna go through this episode. I feel like this episode was good, and it kind of was like a builder episode to like more things to come. So I'm gonna cut out a lot of like, again, like the random scenes that like nobody cares about. Um, so we're gonna get right through to the girls are going to Milwaukee. I said again last episode that they were not excited to go to Milwaukee because they were like, again, how come these other cities go to like fabulous places and we go to freaking Milwaukee? But, they kind of faked it that they were excited. So it's Whitney's trip and she planned it. So they go to the airport and they're flying private. And Mary Cosby, she is not flying with them. She told Whitney that she will be attending the trip, but she would be going on her own. And she's called Whitney, and you could see just like her messy ass closet. And it is annoying when someone doesn't participate in like going to the trip. I mean, not the going, like traveling with the group to go on the trip, but it is Mary Cosby, and she's known to just like not go on trips in general. So the fact that she was going on the trip on her own, but she was still going was pretty, it was good for her. So all the girls fly private. They go to the private airport place, whatever. I'm poor. I don't fly private yet. And Meredith shows up, and Meredith texted Whitney like, "I moved some things around, and I'm gonna be able to come." And you know what Meredith said in the last episode, "I might not go." Production was like, "Ma'am, you have to go. It's on your contract that you will be attending this trip," and she said yes. So they go on the plane, and I just want to talk about like their fashions on the plane because I think at this point, like the printed tracksuit logomania, it's kind of like not giving the way it was supposed to give. I think Angie had one, and I think Heather had one, or was it Whitney that had one? Well, some of those girls had the printed logo, Fendi, Gucci, whatever it is tracksuit, and those tracksuits do not hit anymore. Maybe like the jacket, but they just really don't hit to travel. Like it screams very like you're trying too hard. You got to travel like Meredith, very old money. With her little caviar. Lisa Barlow looks great traveling. We get so when they get to the airport, Bob Wynn says that she does have an issue with Lisa. She felt like Lisa Barlow should have stuck up for her during the lunch at the park last episode that she had to put her on blast. And Lisa B did stick up for Bobwin. So I don't know what really was bothering her, but she was really like not happy with Lisa or Heather. And so they go on the plane, they arrive at Milwaukee. Mary Cosby arrives a little bit earlier, and she says that Milwaukee reminds her of her dad because her dad grew up in Milwaukee. And she said that he used to live down the street or like down the hall from Jeffrey Dahmer. And she said that he could smell the smell of like body, like rotten bodies. And this explains why Mary Cosby can smell hospital. Um, Throwback to season 1. So they all get to the place, and it is really nice, like where they're staying. It looks like a huge like floor with like a common area and just like rooms surrounding everything. Um. Oh, okay, so before I can't remember the chronological event, but before they went to the trip of Milwaukee, we're gonna run it back a little bit. Angie K tells her husband that Brittany, the new girl, the friend girl, blonde, um, that her boyfriend Jared Osman was DMing very flirty, slightly explicit DMs to the lady that does her eyebrows. And this is while him and Brittany were together slash best friends at Costco. So Angie has this piece of information in her back pocket while she goes on the trip. All right, so back to the trip. So they're on the trip, and then they decide that they're gonna split into groups and they're gonna go to do two activities. Which the first activity is to go to a rinky-dink casino, very Atlantic City esque, Atlantic City 2024 esque, not when it was the prime. So they go to the casino, and it's Heather, Meredith, Lisa B, Angie, Angie K, and Brittany, the girl that's getting cheated on. And then Whitney goes to a bobblehead museum, which I cannot think of something that what I would rather not do than number one to hang out with Whitney. But number two, I would not want to go to a bobblehead museum. Like, okay. So going with Whitney is Mary Cosby, Bob Wynn, and the new girl, Maylee. And she's also a friend, and Whitney. They go to the Bobblehead Museum. So then the girls that went to the casino are gambling. They're, um, putting their coins on the line. Lisa Barlow says that she is Mormon 2.0, so she can gamble because it is against the Mormon religion to do anything addictive like gambling, porn, alcohol, drugs. But she is not addicted to gambling, so she can do that because she's Mormon 2.0. And I just want to say, Lisa Barlow, like you keep shining, girl. You just keep on living your life, never change. Um, so Heather pulls Meredith aside because Meredith, uh, Heather and Whitney spoke before they left, and Whitney was trying to see if Heather and Meredith were in good standing. And Whitney texted Meredith saying you should bring your caviar on the plane, and she thought that was an olive branch. And Meredith dryly said, "I'm already bringing it." So Whitney thought that was like a little like she was brushing her off, which I want to say, Meredith, you can always bring caviar to my house. Thank you. So So they're talking, Heather and Meredith. I keep wanting to call them Heredith, but that's not it. So they were talking, and so Meredith brings up because Meredith loves a little gossip. She loves a little social media that she sees out there. She's always bringing these little like nuggets from like rumors into the show. Like she loves our rumor, as she said last season, and she says that that Whitney buys her jewelry from Alibaba, and the way Meredith said Alibaba, um, it just seemed like Meredith just got her like jaw installed, and she just gives us Baba, but she did something weird. I thought her jaw was gonna snap off, and she was gonna have to pick it up and just plop it back in, but. So she says that the Whitney buys jewelry from Alibaba, which isn't Alibaba like AliExpress now? But the Whitney buys her jewelry from Alibaba for like $3 and upsells it for like $50. And Meredith says that she is a jewelry designer and she um has won awards for her jewelry. So okay, Meredith, let's flex. And she tells Heather to tell Whitney because she feels like Whitney's not gonna receive it well from Meredith. And I think that's very true. Meredith is very smart. Um at the roulette, the girls are it's Lisa B and Brittany, the girl that's getting cheated on. Um, Brittany has been trying to call this guy for the longest, and he keeps ignoring her. He doesn't answer her FaceTimes, and Lisa just took her phone and she said, "We're enjoying ourselves. We don't know what time we're gonna be home. Like, talk to you whenever I talk to you." And everybody needs a friend like Lisa B. Everybody. Because we all had that one friend that's stressing over the guy who it's not shit. And you just have to tell them like, give me your fucking phone. Okay? Um I'm not really gonna recap the bobblehead um situation because nothing really happened aside from Bob Wynn told Maylee that Lisa was being snarky and made fun of Maylee allegedly being banned from Nordstrom for returning clothes. And that Maylee didn't dress well, which I don't really think she does. So I mean, Lisa Barlow didn't lie about that. So they'll meet up for like the basketball game, and basically what happened was that um okay, a lot of things happened that were like not really that relevant, but in the basketball game, um finally this guy called back Brittany, and she's sitting like right where I'm at, and she's FaceTiming him like, "I love you, baby." Oh. Um, and then Angie K and Bob Wynn are like right here above her. And Angie K is telling Bob Wynn about what the brow girl told her. And Brittany kind of just turned around. She's like, "Are you guys talking about me?" Which obviously, like, you probably heard them. And she's like, "What is this about?" And they basically told her the truth. Like, he has been DMing the brow girl very inappropriately. And Brittany started crying, and right away she was like, "I knew something was off, this and that." And girl, you should have known something was. You should have known. I can't speak. You should have known something was off when he asked you to be his best friend, not a girlfriend. That's when you knew something was wrong. So she got upset. She went to cry. Meredith went after her. And everybody's been there with their friend, or you've been that person that has found out news, and you know, I feel bad for her because like finding that out that your man ain't shit on national television by people you don't like or that don't like you must be humbling. Then we get to Lisa B and Bobwin. And Bobwin finally addressed Lisa Barlow about not having her back at Heather's lunch park situation. And like I understand both sides. Like Lisa Barlow was letting Bobwin kind of handle her own. And she also kind of said, like, you are being snarky. Because the way she said stuff on the car versus the way she sold it to Whitney is two different versions. The same exact wording, but two different versions, like two different interpretations. So Lisa was saying you were snarky, but so are we all. Sorry. And Lisa told her, like, she did stick up for her, but she was like, oh, and I told Maylee, or I think Maylee walked up to Lisa and she was like, you said I had bad style and I returned for Nordstrom. And Lisa just said, oh, I probably did. Like, she kind of just owned it and brushed it off, and like the girl just got dismissed. And yeah, girl, like this is like not the fight you want to have with Lisa. So Bronwyn, or Bobwyn, just how I call her, Bobwyn, says that she wants Grace because everybody talks shit and everybody's gets away with it. She also wants some Grace, which is like, okay, like you also want to talk shit. And listen, I love to talk shit, so I got you, girl. And she tells Heather that we're gonna get some things straight, and Heather was like, who are you talking to? Because you're talking to me, Miss Receipts Proof Timeline. But I like that Bob Wynn is not afraid to like voice her opinion. The one thing that just left me kind of like, oh, was that Bob Wynn said that she is also part of the mess and she's a villain in her confessional, and but she's the best dressed. And as Countess Luan would say, money can't buy you class. Um, I appreciate Bobwin's delusion that her fashions are fashioning, but some things are very nice. Like her Tom Ford heart jacket was very nice. Um, some other stuff that she wears are kind of nice, but then that confessional when it was like orange and red, like she looked like shit. I don't care if it was couture. It looked like shit. So, and that's just my opinion, but it looked like shit. So that was the only thing that I was like, girl, like I love a delusional girl, but you are a little bit too delusional for my liking. So that was the end of the episode, and next week we got where Lisa and Angie finally get into a heated fight about I don't know what they're fighting about. I don't even know why they have issues, but they get into a fight. And Lisa Barlow loves to fight with everybody, so we're gonna be for another episode. We're gonna be good. Um, Let me drink some because I'm out of breath. Podcasting is hard. Um, so now let's get into my precious RHONY. And what I would like to say about RHONY is that was I a big fan of OG RHONY with like Ramona, Dorinda, Countess Luann, 100%. So I think Leah ruined RHONY 100%. Did I like the reboot? I did. Did I think it was perfection? No. But did I think that it was a good reboot? I think it was. I think the girls were more relatable to everybody. They were younger. Like, not to age shame the other girls, but like Ramona was like 65. Still looks great. Still partying just the same, but like I feel like the younger girls kind of like bring in a different audience of like we kind of are going through this kind of things. So let's start with Ronnie. So an episode or a season or mostly an episode is about to be good when they start at the end and they flash back all the way to the beginning. So this season started all the way at the end. Like they started when they were filming the opening Apple holding scene, and it was a couple days after they wrapped filming, and they show a preview that it's Uba and Bryn getting into a huge fight. So they got into a huge fight, Uba and Bryn. They don't say why. They just said like it was bad, and everybody's like shocked, and people kept on saying that it's fucked up what happened. Which now I want to know like what happened. Then they go back to like 3 months earlier, and so we start off with Bryn. She has a new apartment in Gramercy, which um it's somewhere in the city. I don't really know exactly where it is. I live in Queens, so not familiar with like the city names. Um, Apartment's very nice. Um, and whatever. Like we're gonna skip through like a lot of like stuff. The thing I want to say about Bryn is that I want to get to know the real her. Like we have gotten snippets of the real her, like when she talks about her growing up and her childhood and her grandma raising her. But I also think a lot of her that we get on the show is a shtick. And I feel like she always wants to be this like flirty, um, like sexy. I feel like to me, this is just my opinion. I feel like she kind of saw Sonia Morgan from the first iteration of RHONY, and she said that's my character, and I think she's kind of playing a Sonia Morgan version of herself. And I don't think I could be wrong. This seems like a character she's playing. I don't believe that she goes around flirting with a rock every single day. So that's my thing on Bryn. Um, so after that, we go into I think it's Jessel and Dory, her husband. And God, what all these girls got some work done, like little tweaks in between the season, and I want to say they all look amazing. Jessel looks great. I love her bob or lob. Um, I feel like she probably got like new fashions because she looked amazing. So her husband takes her out to ride the subway, and she is like, "Ugh, the subway." And girl, I feel you. The subway. I ride it every day. Um, and she said that she spends like $900 in Ubers a month, and like I've never been a person that wants a high career. I don't ever want to be president of no company. I aspire to be more like I aspire to be like Jessel. I aspire to be able to spend $900 on Ubers a month and just not be pressed. Um, Her husband Dory takes her on the train to Chinatown to have some um I don't want to get the actual country of where they went messed up. I'm gonna say they went to get some Asian food in Chinatown. And they talk about how they really talk about her embryos. They talk about how he hasn't given her a gift for her birthday since her kids were born. Kind of like filler, but they were talking about how he's becoming a food influencer. And I love how she says she was like, she was like, your husband's a food influencer. She's like, I married a banker. I think she's funny. I think she's campy. I think that's why all the gays love her because she's funny and campy, and she's British. And I think an accent just makes anybody just more likable. I don't think she's like overly like hilarious, but I think she's campy in her accent. Um, her inside made up, so like I'm not really gonna talk about a lot of the stuff that kind of was like filler. Like her inside went um cold plunging again filler. Like they did make up after last season because last season Sai couldn't stand Jessel, and Jessel was so clueless that she was like, oh, camp. Um, then we have lunch with Aaron, Uba, which again, Uba's just the stunningness ever. And now we have Rebecca Minkoff. And what I want to say is because on the trailer, Bryn said something about you must know Rebecca Minkoff if you shop at Nordstrom, which was like a little like cunty dig. And I want to say I have seen her stuff at Nordstrom Rack. I meant I've seen her stuff at Nordstrom Rack. That's what Brent said. But you know what? Rebecca Minkoff had the it bag in the early 2010s, and there's so many bag designers out there that for you to even get an it bag once in your career, you did something right. And Rebecca Minkoff had the it bag. Um, so that's what I was saying about that. She's new and she's kind of like normal, so she didn't really add much to it. So this is where the mess starts. Um, Aaron reveals that Jenna Lyons was mad at her because Bryn told her, no, yes, Bryn told Jenna Lyons that Aaron told Jessel and Bryn that Jenna's car broke down and Aaron had to pay for the Uber, and that Jenna Lyons, this is Bryn's interpretation of it, was having money problems. So in the other side of, they were doing like a dinner or like a lunch with like some of the girls, and then Brain, Jenna Lyons, and Jessel were um shopping, and they start talking about how Aaron brought up that Brain, no, Brain brings up that Aaron said that Jenna Lyons was poor, and you could tell that Jenna's over it, but Brain just wants to bring it on camera. Also, another thing they were mad about was that Bryn was mad at Erin because Jeff Lewis insinuated that she was a call girl, and they played the clip of the podcast. He never called her a call girl. He just asked. I think he insinuated that she was a sugar baby, not a call girl. Two different things. And also, like, is that even an insult? If people think I'm a sugar baby, I'm gonna let them think that. Like, I don't want people to know I work. If people think I'm a sugar baby or a call boy, like, yes, I am. I don't know why she was so upset about that. Also, it happened 7 months ago. I think she just wanted. This is what it is about Brand. I think she's looking for storyline. Um, so they're talking about Erin allegedly calling Jenna that she's poor. Erin's telling her side of the story with the girls at lunch with Rebecca Minkoff and Uba, that she never said that. That it didn't happen that she had to pay for the Uber and she was annoyed, but she never called Jenna poor. Um, Then we'll skip a couple things because they were not interesting. I mean, Erin went to Erin went to have dinner with her kids and her husband. Her husband brought up mushrooms, and she got all upset that he said mushrooms. And production was always gonna just keep you humble because they showed a clip of Erin last season talking about tripping on mushrooms. So, girl, Miss Production is always going to get you. Um, so Brain decides to host a gathering. So I'm gonna skip over because, oh wait, no, no, no. Before that, they introduced us to the new housewife. Her name is Raquel, and she is a friend of Jenna's, and she is also a late in life lesbian, and she's married to a really hot chick. And she goes over to Jenna's house to kind of purge her shoe closet with Jenna's future mother-in-law, which is her girlfriend's mom. Well, that is what a mother-in-law is. But her girlfriend's mom is filming. Her girlfriend is not filming. Her girlfriend opted out of filming. But the mom is. The mom said, "You know what? Give me the camera because I am going to shine for this family." Um, so new Raquel, she's cool. She showed up in a motorcycle, and if you guys watch Miss Congeniality, when I think I forgot the top what girls it was, but Miss New York, and go back and watch that scene of where Miss New York gets stormed off. Is this not the same girl? Or does she not give the same energy? Let me know. So she's gets introduced, she's cool, she's fine. They kind of show her backstory, but like I'm not gonna get into it because they, aside from her being a late in life lesbian, like they didn't really show much about her. So we get to Bryn's like little happy hour bar outing, and all the girls get there. And the two new girls get there, Rachel or Raquel. Rachel Raquel, whatever it is. And Rebecca Benkoff. And they're just there like, these girls are fighting already. Like, what the fuck? Um, and they wasted no time. Sai confronted Jenna about why do you think I hate you? And Jenna Lyons said, oh, because Brain told me. And Sai was like, I never hated you. She's making it up. I said I didn't give you a chance or something like that last season, which is different than hating somebody. Hating somebody is like really harsh. And how do you hate Jenna Lyons? Um, then Bryn is also in the hot seat because they bring up the whole Aaron said that Jenna Lyons is poor. Basically, Bryn hosted this dinner to roast herself. She said, I am going to host this and you guys are going to roast me over and over again for all the stuff I said. And she gets called out. Um, Sai and Jenna make up, but then Aaron is fighting with Bryn. And then Sai was like, you know what? I'm not done with you, sis. Like, come get roasted again. Get back into the rotisserie. We're going to give you two more laps. And she was like, I never said that I hated Jenna. You're making it up. And then Bryn, in order to deflect, she was like, well, you called Jessel's husband Dory from Finding Nemo lookalike. And Sai was like, why would he bring that up? And honestly, like, Sai is savage. I love that because now I can't unsee it. He does look like Dory. Oh, Sai. I I thought it was really funny, and that's probably something I would probably say. I think that's why I liked it. Um, so basically, Sai calls Bryn Satan, and she goes like, "Not today." And Sai, throughout this episode, talked about how she was on a Zen journey, and right away she was like, "No, bitch, no Zen. We about to fight." And she said, "We're gonna, we're gonna call the therapist tomorrow. Today, she's not here." Um, and they really roasted Bryn. And like I said, I feel like Bryn plays a character to me. So I feel like I you get the genuine from Jessel. She's just like a campy Brit. Jenna just seems like genuine. Erin just seems like cool and genuine, even though she does backtrack a lot. But she probably did make a little joke about Jenna being poor, but she backtracks. Um, Sai seems pretty genuine. Like she did admit that she saw herself on TV and that she saw how much of a bitch she was, and she goes like, "I need to work on myself." So she seems, Bryn just seems so like, I feel like she tries to be campy and mother. And first of all, her tagline, her saying like, "Why would I date your dad when you could just be mother?" Like, you don't get to call yourself mother. Like, the gays assign you as mother. The gays chose Jessel as mother. And that's the thing. I feel like she tries to be so like that, like it comes off so ingenuine versus like Jessel. She's just like a campy, funny, like doesn't take anything too serious a person. And I think that's the difference. And I think Bryn and also Sai, so that Jessel last season was a fan favorite. And I think they're kind of adjusting themselves to kind of be aligned with Jessel. And Jessel's just clueless, like, oh. So yeah. So I think we're gonna have a good season. Well, first of all, Uba walked in when like all the drama was over. Like, Uba, you have one job, is to be in the mess. Why you arrived so late? Um, but yeah, that is the recap of Salt Lake City and RHONY. I hope you guys enjoyed. I know Potomac just aired, but this recap is a little late because I was out living life that I recorded late, so I didn't get to watch Potomac. Maybe I recap that. I'm not like, I like Potomac, but it kind of fell off, so I kind of stopped watching. So I'll watch this episode and see if it's worthy of a recap of an SD cap. Ooh. So thank you. Like and subscribe. And I'll see you guys soon for the next recap. Thank you for listening to Spilling the Tea with Estee and Marlene.
Make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe on your favorite platform. Bye, guys.